let's talk about some settings on the Witch here. Basically, you have 4 different buttons on the controller that handle the different functions of the Witch controller. Top left button, number 1, is for the brightness, sorry, is for the color. That is maybe about 20 different color selections, and each time you press that top left button, which will be labeled on yours, in your controller box, you're going to get a flash. And what you're seeing there is a flash of the gradient scale that's going to be used for the flames in this mode. So each time you go through and press the button, you're going to get a flash of here are the colors that are in that gradient. And it just depends on, you know, which one you're looking at and what your brightness is set to and stuff like that. But you'll get, you get a sense of what they look like. So what will happen is once you make it through all the different options, we have it do a double blink so that you understand that, okay, we went around and now you're back at the beginning. So you at least have a sense of where it starts and stops. So here is, we'll be getting there in a second. There you go. So you got the double blink. Now we're back to the original fire animation. The second button is going to do brightness. It's the other top button, and you'll have, I think, 6 different settings for brightness. When you get back around for that one, just like it's doing all the flashing here, it's going to go back to nothing. And then you know that the brightness is off and we're starting at 0 again. So yeah, I think you have 6 settings for that. Obviously the first one will be the lowest setting, and you can go from there. The bottom left button is number 3, and I don't remember exactly what that's labeled on yours, but what that is the different effect, basically, that's going to be shown. I think it's called effect. And there are, I think, 6 or 7 effects. And what you're looking at right now is a twinkling effect. So it's taking the gradient that I selected, and it's hard to see in my video, but that's a white, yellow, red gradient, and it's just doing some random flashing, twinkling throughout the whole thing. This is going to be based on the speed you select, so if you wanted to go slower, that's an option. Here's another, I think this is number 3 or 4. This is just a sort of a waving rainbow effect. It's not an option with the controller, the way it's set up, to have this as one of the color options because of the effect it has. So it's just one of the effect options that you can choose, is the waving rainbow. And then number 4 effect, I believe, is the rainbow with twinkling effects. And you can see every time I press the button, you get a number of lights that light up along the bottom here that will give you an indicator of how many effects you've gone through or what number effect you're on. I think this one's called confetti. It takes the colors of the flame that you selected, of the gradient, and it uses those to light up just random lights and fade those out. This one I think is called, I can't remember what it's called. It does something similar to the twinkle effect with the colors from the gradient, except it has more lit up at the same time. So that's maybe that's confetti and the other one's twinkle, I don't remember. And then you come back to the original, which is the built-in flaming sort of fire effect. So that's number 1. That's the actual flaming effect. Number 2 is just the gradient of the colors you selected without movement. So if you just wanted them to build and be solid, that's number 2, and then you continue on from there. The last button is the speed setting, and when I press that, I get lights up along the next row here that tells me which speed I'm at. Speed only affects items that are animated, so in this mode, this effect, it's not going to do anything, but now I can be on speed 1, and I can go back around to, for example, the blinking or whatever. I like doing it on the fire one, so I'm going to go back around to the flaming effect. Okay, so you can get a sense of this is speed 1, and then I can just keep increasing the speed, and you can see that as you go up on the speed, the effect just gets a little crazier and a little faster, and this will change everything in the system in terms of the speed. So the flames will build faster when the witch goes up. They'll shrink faster when the witch goes down. So you'll have to play a little, between how fast you want the animation to happen and how fast you want it to build and come down. It's all one setting, so it will affect all of those things. Just play around with it and see how it works out for you. But those are, I think, 5 speed settings. The fastest one is pretty crazy, but some of the effects you want that, and then some of them you just want it to sort of be a slow building effect like that. So those are the settings on the controller. You can use the switches. I have this plugged in via USB right now. This is my development controller, and you can use the switches out of the game to test this out and make it seem like it would be in the game. So you can sort of set all the settings you want and get the effects you want before. So you're just going to hit the up switch first, and that's going to pretend that the witch is going down, and then you're going to hit the down switch, and that will pretend that it's closed. Now, or pretend that it's down all the way. And then when the switch on the bottom is opened, you will pretend that the witch is starting to go up. And so the flames will build. And when the witch gets to the top, the second switch will go up. And then the flames will finish building to the top if they haven't already. It's just a fallback in case the witch got to the top already and the animation hadn't finished. So you can sort of go through the settings, go through the changes that you want to make, test it all out before you put it in the machine, and power that via USB. This is just plugged in my computer. You can plug it into a wall wart, a 5-volt USB adapter. Any plug that charges your phone should be fine. If it's a very old one that doesn't put out a lot of power, that may be an issue for the lights, and then you'll just want to make sure that you try a different one. What could happen is that when the lights get bright enough, it could use too much power and then reset. It's not a problem in the game. It's only when you're powering it over USB. And so that will be just one thing to be concerned of. One of the things you'll also see, I didn't show you from the beginning, but when this thing starts up, each time you get this little rolling flag rainbow animation, and that just shows you that, hey, it's starting up. It sort of is nice. It goes along with the rest of the game starting up, sort of, and then you'll come to this. So if that happens again, if the rainbow starts playing, you'll know it reset itself, and you probably don't have enough power to provide it for the USB plug to power everything. So it's not a big deal if that happens, just you'll know why that's happening. So that's the basic idea of setting the controller up. If you have questions, let us know, and enjoy the mod.
And now, my beauty, something with poison in it, I think. With poison in it, but attractive to the eye and soothing to the smell.